What's up YouTube, it's Heretic here, welcome back. Today we are looking at the Sylveon-GX Vileplume deck that I played against Mari in our most recent match video. Obviously this list still needs a little bit of work, but we're going to go ahead and get a rough draft out there for you guys. So we're going to start out, we've got 4 Eevees. Energy Evolution obviously, because it's just being able to get Sylveon and play turn 1 is just really good. We play 3 copies of Sylveon-GX, the star attacker of the deck. Sylveon-GX has 3 pretty solid attacks. The first one, Magical Ribbon for 1 fairy. Lets you search your deck for any 3 cards and add them to your hand. Basically forces your opponent to play an N, worst case scenario. So that's pretty solid. We've got Fairy Wind for 1 fairy and 2 colorless, which just does a vanilla 110 damage. And then we have Plea-GX for that same cost of 1 fairy and 2 colorless, which lets you return 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon and all cards attached to them to your opponent's hand. I was able to make use of that in the match video, as is a pretty powerful GX attack. Now since we're running Eevees, we also have access to Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon, who can help us hit more things for weakness with Sylveon, turning that modest 110 damage into a rather massive 220 damage. So we run those guys, and then we have, just to kind of back up what's typically a two-hit attacker in order to pick up KOs at least without weakness, we have a 2/2/2 Vileplume line. So item lock is always powerful, and we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that since this deck can support it. So that is our main Pokemon lineup. We still have like our support Pokemon in terms of helping get everything set up. We have 2 copies of Shaman and 1 Tapu Lele GX. And Tapu Lele also, since the deck runs double colorless, functions as an alternative attacker as well, which is really fun, really cool to be able to do. Next we have, since we have stage 2 lines of stage 1s, we have 4 Ns. They all have different artwork because trigger OCD, yo. So 4 different Ns. And we have 3 Sycamores. Normally it would be the other way around, but like I said, since a lot of evolutions, just going with the 4 Ns for this. 2 Olympias, in case we have to put Plume into play without a float stone. Got 2 Team Flare Grunts. Those might be on the chopping block. Not really sure how useful those are right now. 2 Lysanders. Might be thinking about adding a 3rd. And then 1 Brock's Grit, just to be able to get stuff back in case you prize a Sylveon and one gets KO'd, or maybe you have to discard some evolutions early. Just kind of nice to have that on hand. Stadiums, we run 3 Forest of Giant Plants. I don't see the need to max out at 4 since we only have a 2/2/2 Plume line, and there are some matches where we're not going to need it. But otherwise, you know, it's just, I feel like if you run Vileplume, that's the stadium you want to have, and it's pretty much no-brainer. We got 4 Trainer's Mail just to help get our trainer cards more quickly, 4 Ultra Ball to get our Pokemon out, as well as 2 Level Ball, the 3 Eeveelutions from Ancient Origins, as well as the Eevees themselves, the Otters and the Glooms, all viable Level Ball targets. So when you have 11 targets, I see no reason not to play it. Then we got 3 Float Stones, mainly just to get Plume to be able to retreat, and can help us not have to pay Sylveon's retreat cost too, which is kind of nice. Then we got 4 double colorless and 7 basic fairy energy, just to round everything out. So that is my Sylveon-GX Eeveelutions Vileplume deck. Like I said, this is still a work in progress, so we're still working on a couple ideas, you know, potentially adding a 3rd Lysander since it's Vileplume, so we're not playing Versus Seeker. And, you know, maybe just kind of seeing if we can streamline it a little bit more, or if it just does end up naturally being a clunkier deck, which wouldn't really surprise me. But that is the list as of today, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back in a couple of days with the aggressive Quad Lapras build with Aqua Patch that Mari was able to defeat this deck with. So we'll get into that, and that's what I got now. I'll see you next time. Cheers.